What's up YouTube? For today's video, we're going full 5 times weak to electric Pokemon team. These battles, people, will shock you, alright? Now, this comment by Ash Ketchum was quite rude. Time to get swept by Pichu. We need to prove Ash Ketchum wrong right now. So after this, we're going to be doing a stream on Twitch. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing, but it should be fun. Link is in the description there, people. If you haven't come and watched the streams, I suggest you do. They're a lot of fun. I get to interact with you people too. You know, I get to talk and you get to ask me like questions and, you know, it's beautiful. I'd love to see you there. Alright, so we got a couple of battles today. This team was actually really fun and unique. Now, with Pokemon that are 4 times weak to electric, right, literally only like 7 of them. So I had to use a couple of pre-evolutions on this team just to make up the 6. But all in all, it was a very electrifying experience. So I didn't even, I'm not joking, guys. I didn't even mean to make that pun. So anyway, we got a battle here. This was against Tapu Dust, and he's going to be paralyzing my Pelipper. Now, Pelipper on my team really was only meant to drop the drain. Did I? Drop the rain, not the drain. I can't believe I said that. Drop the drain to get the rain to drain in the main. Anyway, so we got my Pelipper. It's going to be dropping the rain right now. The rain is actually very handy for the rest of my Pokemon here. So pretty much this Pelipper set has Roost, Tailwind, Scald, and Knockoff. Impish with Drizzle and a Damp Rock. Now, my Damp Rock did get knocked off, but that's not going to dampen my spirits. I'm going to swap that in a little bit later. So we got the Phantom Force here coming from the Banette. I'm going to swap the Swan around. I don't want to really take that kind of damage on early in the game, so we're going to be going into the Gyarados, a special Gyarados. Now, Gyarados does have Intimidate too, and this is actually a special set, so that's going to be pretty nice against this team. So we've got Hurricane, Thunder, Fire Blast, and Hydro Pump. I know Fire Blast is horrendous in the rain, but I just put it on there in case I come up like a Ferrothorn or something like hell annoying like that. So we got the Banette living on 1 health there. It's too early for this, people, and it's going to be going for the Thunder Wave on Gyarados. So the Tailwind is going to peter out there, and it's going to go for a track. So this is going to be a Para-Infatuation. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but I just made it up. Banette. So this was a royal pain in the bum. So on this Gyarados set, I like to go between Assault Vest and Choice Specs. On today's battle, I went with the Assault Vest for a little bit more bulk. But unfortunately, the Gyarados did hit like a wet paper bag, so I had to usually use 2 moves. So the good thing about having the rain is that's going to give Gyarados 100% accuracy with Hurricane, which is nice. And I take the Banette out with a critical hit, which definitely mattered. So now we're going to bring in the second Banette. Yes, you guessed it, people. It's a full Banette team. Very interesting. So obviously I'm going to get outsped. It's going to be a physical set going for the Sucker Punch, taking me out in its dreams. I'm going to get paralyzed though, and that kind of sucked because I would have got another, Hurricane off against that. So now it's going to go for the Shadow Sneak, taking out my bulky Gyarados. Bye-bye Gyarados. You did pretty good. You got hacks, but you did pretty good there. So fairly even battle at the moment. Got to bring in back the Pelipper. I've got to drop the drain, people. That better be the top comment. So we got that Drizzle happening, which is nice. A lot of the abilities I had on my Pokemon actually supported with the Drizzle too. Gyarados was probably one of the few that it didn't. Alright, so we're going to Z move here. It's going to be Poisonium Z, and that is going to do a fair bit of damage to my Pelipper. Man, Banette looks mean. Look how angry it looks when it's using its Z move. Anyway, so we've got the Acid Downpour here. Now, on my other Pokemon, we had abilities like, we had, what was I saying, Water Veil. That really didn't do much. We had Hydration and Hydration again, and we had 3 other Hydration Pokemon. So they are the main ones that helped out with the rain. Also, all Water-type moves get a boost in the rain, right? Alright, so now we're going to go into the absolute unit itself, Wingull. Now, this is a Choice Specs Wingull. Look at this damage. So Banette's just got to get absolutely destroyed there, one-shotting it with a mighty Wingull. We need to do a Wingull sweep one day, guys. Look how badass its like back sprite looks like. I'm just carrying a fear right now. So we're going to go for another Hurricane. I'm Choice Specs, max special attack, and max speed there. I get a confusion on the bulky Banette, and it's going to be eating a berry. So let's go over what this set is. So we got Hurricane, we got Scald, Shockwave, just in case I verse any electric type Pokemon, and we got Ice Beam. So we got modest nature on this one. It's actually got pretty good speed, unlike Pelipper, it gets slower in its speed as it evolves, and that is good. So we're going to get the curse there from the Banette, which isn't, I mean, it's kind of good for me because I got rid of it. I didn't take any damage, but now the curse is on me, so I'm going to have to take as many Pokemon out as possible before I go down, or I can swap out, which I don't really want to do. So now it's going to see my, my choice spec. So the gig's up, people. We've got to try and get as much damage as possible, and now we've got the Banette going for the Mega Evolution here. So I was thinking this would be pretty bulky. It'd be nice to get a strong hit against it and see if I can maybe revenge KO it with another Pokemon. So we got the Thunder Wave from the obviously the prankster Banette there, and I think most of these Banettes, if not all of them, had freaking Thunder Wave. It was like super annoying. Anyway, so we're going to land a Hurricane there, does some really nice damage to Banette, and we get the Hydration curing my paralysis, which is awesome. However, I'm going to have a little nail there in my face, actually in my... That nail was bigger than Wingull's beak. Anyway, so we're going to get hit by a Thunder Wave again. Obviously, the rain is going to run out this turn, and obviously the Pelipper was only around for 5 turns, as it did not have its damn rock before, but that is not going to dampen my spirits. So I'm going to go for another Hurricane here. I'm going to get hit by the curse, and I'm going to get paralyzed. So things aren't looking too good here, and I'm going to get outsped by the Banette this turn. So I'm going to get hit by the Dank Pulse, and Wingull is down. But Wingull did pretty good there, did some solid damage. I can bring in some other Pokemon to take that up. So I thought, okay, this is a pretty good chance to bring in Ducklet. Now, this is a bulky Ducklet. Yes, a bulky Ducklet. So we've got Feather Dance, Roost, Toxic, and Scold. Usually I don't like to run Toxic and Scald, but in this case I did, because it didn't have a lot to choose from on the special side for like support. So we had Max Health, Max Special Defense, Calm Nature, Hydration Ability, and Everlight. Now I almost went with a Rest Hydration, but since I went with since I was going to give it Rain Dance and then the Pelipper, I was like, nah, I'll just give it Roost instead. So now we got the Hex, and the paralysis there on my Ducklet. Unfortunately, I get paralyzed, but the good thing about this is I do have the Toxic up against Banette. If it does have something annoying like Pain Split, I don't really have a lot of health left anyway, and Scald probably enough to take it up. So we got another Hex here, and I get paralyzed twice in a row. Man, I could have taken that with Scald easy. So the whole idea of this Ducklet set is to tank those special attacking moves, and then, when they're swapping into a physical type Pokemon, you can go for a Feather Dance, or you can go for a Scald, and they'll basically be walled there. And, yeah, that's pretty much the Ducklet set. It's more of a bulky one. And, I got a couple of people off guard with it. It was fun. So, Banette is going to go down to the Toxic. Pretty good result there. We still got 2 Pokemon remaining. Don't worry, people. We got 2 more fresh Banettes to come out. So, now, we got the shiny one this time. I don't mind shiny Banette. It's not too bad. So now we're going to bring in the Mantine. Now, this Mantine set was a physical one. I've run this a couple of times before. We got Normalium Z Splash Mantine. So even after the Z Splash giving it +3 in attack, it really doesn't hit very hard at all. That's also why I had the Pelipper too, because if I put the Rain up, and then I used Liquidation after the Z Splash, it would hit pretty dang hard even for a Mantine. Alright, so going for my +3 in attack, and now we got the Will-O-Wisp. I've got the Water Veil. That is not going to work, so I've revealed that I've got a physical set. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for the Liquidation on the Banette, and it does pretty big damage, but it doesn't quite take it out. And now the Banette is going to go for the Destiny Bomb. Now, I'm in a little bit of a rock and a hard place here. I can't attack them because I'm going to go down. So I've got to go for the Splash, right? That's my only option. Otherwise, if I don't go for Splash, I can't swap out because I'll lose my boost right. Alright, so now we've got the Banette going for that Shadow Claw there. Thank goodness it doesn't crit. I'm not sure if it's got Shadow Sneak at the moment or Sucker Punch. It clearly doesn't. And I'm going to finish it off with a Disrespect Aerial Ace. So we got one more Pokemon left, which is a Banette. I bet you never guessed that. And we still have a Swanna there waiting in the wings. So now we've got the last Banette here. I wasn't really sure what this set was going to be. I was like, bugger it. Let's just go for Liquidation. I've got a +3 in attack. This should do some solid damage. And it lives on 1 health. And it uses Thunderbolt. No! How unlucky is that? Guys, it could only happen to... It literally could only happen to me. Alright, so my last Pokemon is the Swanna. I'm hoping to goodness this thing isn't like crazy-ass wacky Choice Scarf set, and it's not. And I'm going to go for the Brave Bird there, and that is the game. Man, that was scary. They had that Banette like secretly hidden there with Thunderbolt the whole game. Alright, so down goes the Banette, and that was a really cool team. Thanks to the battle, man, and let's get on to the second one. Now, this was against Flaming Turkey, and this was a pretty electrifying battle. So, we got the Delmise. I love shiny Delmise. It looks really, really cool. Actually, just an awesome... Probably, I'd have to say, in Gen 7, one of my very favorite Pokemon to be introduced. I must say, I did like a lot of them too. Alright, so, anchors away, people, for the second battle. Now we're going to go for the knockoff here. Let's see what item it's got. I actually get some nice damage because I get a crit there. The Pelipper EVs, I actually didn't mention them. That was max health, max special defense, impish nature. Alright, so I'm going to get hit by the rock side there. It's about a 3-hit KO, which isn't too bad. I'm going to go... I was thinking I should go for Tailwind, but I thought, nah, I don't really need to at this point in the game. I want to save my Rain too, so let's go into Gyarados, get the Intimidate up, and then I can either go for a Hurricane, like a nice 100% Hurricane, or they could swap, but it doesn't really matter if they swap. So we've got a Giga Drain here. It's going to be a interesting set there. It's going to only recover a little bit back, because Giga Drain really didn't do too much to me. So we've got the Delmize going for Protect here, just obviously seeing what move I'm going to use, seeing what kind of set I'm running, and it's going to be the old Special Gyarados. I quite like Special Gyarados. It's quite good. So now we've got the Hurricaning. Like, oh wait, this is going to do a lot of damage and take it out. Its special defense isn't the greatest in the world. It's more bulky on the defensive side, and that one is going to go down. The ship goes down, people. All right, so the next Pokemon we got out is the oh no. So you know how at the start of the video I was like, Ash Ketchum was like, a Pichu's gonna roast, like absolutely like just destroy me and sweep me. I was thinking in this battle, I'm like, they could technically be right in this battle, right? Because, you know, Pichu evolves into Pikachu and into the Alolan Raichu and that sort of business. So now we've got the Mudsdale coming in there, and it's going to get absolutely shreked, and the Mudsdale is going to go down in one shot to my Hydro Pump in the rain. So now the next Pokemon we got is the Kangaskhan. Now, the Alolan Raichu, they've got Volt Switch, right? But if that's their only electric type move, I've still got a slither of a chance, right? Because I've got two Pokemon, right, that can tank the Volt Switch and take it out. So I was hoping that was the case. It wasn't packing Thunderbolt, it was carrying something else. Alright, so now we've got the Swanna going for the Liquidation in the rain against the Kangaskhan, doing really, really big damage there and getting a defense drop. Not that it really mattered too much. The next one was going to take out. And now we've got Kangaskhan going for the Outrage, doing some pretty good damage to Swanna. Now, since Kangaskhan is going for Outrage, it's locked into that, and that's going to go down to my second Liquidation. I did say what my Swanna set was. My Swanna set was Adamant, Choice Band, Brave Bird, Liquidation, Steel Wing, and Airways, max attack and max speed. It's got some pretty good speed, and I wanted to get the most out of Liquidation and the Rain and the Choice Band for some really nice power. Alright, so we've got the Cradily coming out. This thing's going to have Scumbag Storm Drain, so I've got to get around it. Now, this part probably took the longest out of the battle. So, my only way to take this Pokemon out, it's very bulky on both sides, especially special defense, is Toxic. I had to get Toxic to land. Thank goodness it landed and they didn't swap, because I don't know if I would have been able to get around it. I mean, my other option was go for the Z-Splash on Mantine, but Mantine probably wouldn't like getting hit by, repeated Ancient Powers, being more of a sweeping set, right? Alright, so Cradily is going to go for a Toxic as well. That's not really too bad. I can actually swap into my Pelipper and then swap back into it, and my Toxic will heal with the Hydration ability. So I'm actually not too bad about that. So we're going to go for the Roost here. I've got some recovery, and pretty much I just wanted to get this Cradily down to a certain point where I could revenge KO with my Swanna, or just go down to the Toxic in general. Clearly it's trying to go for an Ancient Power boost. I really don't want that to happen, because it could actually sweep through a lot of my team. Obviously being, flying Pokemon, that was it. So pretty much flying, water and flying Pokemon were the key ones that are, 4 times weak to electric. So this team, as you guys can imagine, had a lot of weaknesses, and every single battle I'd either come, just thinking at the moment, every single battle I either come across, mainly Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, and I'd say Wild Charge. Those were the 3 most common electric moves I'd come against. Alright, so now we're going to go into the Pelipper. I actually want to get rid of that Leftovers. I've got Knockoff in this set. I thought that'd be a good idea to do that. I've also got Tailwind on this Pelipper set too, which would be quite handy. I actually quite use that for my... all of my Pokemon really kind of benefit from that, especially my Mantine. They both start with W. God damn it! W, upside down, flip to M. So now we've got the Leftovers on the Cradily here. Man, I've got this absolute splitting headache at the moment. I had some Nurofen, and I'm hoping it goes away. I actually get my my reading glasses on Friday. I can't wait for that, so I don't get headaches anymore. Hallelujah. So anyway, we're going to knock off the Cradily's item, and it's going to use Toxic against me. Sorry guys, I'm just telling you my life story during this little point in the game. So Pelipper is poisoned. It's not too bad. I'm thinking, should I sack my Pelipper off now, or I may need the Rain later on? The problem Pokemon, as you guys can see, is the Alolan Raichu. That can use Yeah, that could use Thunder Shock and sweep most of my team. So I'm very, very worried about that. So now we're going to swap out the Pelipper into Ducklet. Ducklet pretty much is, its use is kind of over in this battle. I know what Pokemon are left, so I thought, let's just leave it in there, and the Cradily can go down to the Toxic. I'll heal myself off the Hydration. Then Cradily will be forced to go for, you know, an Ancient Power, and then go down the next turn. So Cradily's going to go for Recover the turn before. I'm just going to go for a Roost again. I can easily outstall this thing because it cannot poison me without my poison getting cured. And now it's going to go for a final Ancient Power, and finally the freaking Cradily is going to go down. I actually didn't have a lot to hit, you know, outside of that Toxic. So Cradily's down. We've got the Raichu left. I know Raichu's probably going to come in here and go for the Volt Switch. That's what I was thinking, right? And in it comes, people. So I was thinking, okay, Volt Switch. What's its other move going to be? It could have Nasty Plot. That's another move. Could have Psychic. And my question here is going to be answered. So they're going to go for a Psychium Z. I'd say Psychic against my Ducklet. Now, Ducklet, as you guys remembered at the start of the video, I mentioned, it was very, very bulky in special defense, right? So it's like, okay, I actually should be able to live this one, and I'll be able to fire off a Scald against it in the rain too. I half thought about going for a Toxic, but I thought, nah. It could go for Volt Switch like 4 times in a row, and then the battle will be ended already. So I have to go for a Scald to get some damage, and hopefully I can get some good damage and a burn. All right, so I get a Mega Crit there in the rain and a burn. I couldn't have hoped for anything better than that, and it's going to take some more burn damage. So pretty much one more attack is going to take it out. However, it's going to go for the Volt Switch here, and that's going to take out my Ducklet. So it's got Psychic. I'm really, really scared at the moment of the Thunderbolt. I pretty much only got one answer to Thunderbolt on this team. All right, so now we've got the Articuno coming out. It's a shiny Articuno, and it's going to be putting a little bit of pressure on me. Now, I've still got 4 Pokemon remaining, but that 4 Pokemon right could go to 0 in like 0. It could be like 0 to 100 that Raichu comes in and takes them all up. So now we've got a Scumbag Sheer Cold set, and my Swanna is going to go down, people. Oh no, so Swanna's down. That's really bad there. I didn't expect them to go for a Sheer Cold there. I thought they weren't going to be mean like that. But then I remembered my audience loves to trouble me. Alright, so now we're going to go into Pelipper. We've got to get that Drizzle happening. I need to get the Tailwind up. If I can get that Tailwind up, I can outspeed the Alola Raichu and take this Raichu out. And then Sheer Cold hits again on my Pelipper. This isn't supposed to be a full Pimpnite one-hit KO video, alright? Get that out of here. So we've only got 2 more Pokemon remaining. Can I get around this Scumbag Sheer Cold Articuno? It's time to swap in the absolute unit himself. All right, so now we've got the Sheer Cold missing on the Wingull. Wingull is going to go for the Hurricane. Hopefully I can get a Confusion Hacks. And it's about a 3-hit K, and I get the Confusion, which is really nice. Man, look at Wingull. It's just like, I love how this aimlessly it's flying in the sky. All right, so now we got a Sheer Cold, which is going to miss on the Articuno. I mean, it's going to miss on the Wingull. And we're going to go for another Hurricane here, low-key hoping for a crit, but it doesn't happen. Hopefully Articuno hits itself in Confusion, and then I can take it out with a Hurricane. That'd be beautiful. All right, so Sheer Cold is going to miss, thank goodness. And we're going to go for a final Hurricane. And people, Wingull defeats Articuno. You don't hear that one too often. All right, people, it's time, people. It's time for this. So we got the Raichu here. It's on a little bit of health. I know that it's going to go for a Volt Switch. Wingull is a Choice Scarf, a Choice Spec, so I know that I'm going to outspeed. It's going to go for the Volt Switch, and Wingull is going to go down. So I've only got 1 more Pokemon remaining, and can I do it, people? It's the Mantine. Now, Mantine actually has not bad special defense. However, as you guys know, I was actually running a sweeping set, so it's definitely not going to be as bulky as possible, or as it normally is. So I was like, oh, if I live this one, I'm going to have to live on like 2 health. However, it takes me down, and I get swept by Pichu's older evolution. Hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. Check out those bloopers of bonus battle. Peace.